Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Ted's Booze Cellar with me, your most gracious host, Ted. I'm reviewing another one of the beers that my brother and his wife got me from their recent trip to America, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Class 5 Colorado IPA by Good River Beer, as you can see there. Now, I tried to find, honestly, as much information as I could on Good River Beer, but the thing is that I looked on their Facebook page and there's no activity there since the 14th of December 2020. And then I looked on their website and that just comes with a 404 message. So I honestly did try my best to find some information about these guys, but regrettably, I just couldn't. So I will say, though, on the back here it says intense, continuous, and demanding. The swift currents of Class 5 rapids make these some of the toughest runs to maneuver, but tempting nonetheless. Prepare to be swept away with the citrusy pine of this big, bold, and double India Pale Ale. Its finish is the only thing dry about it. Goes great with recounting the day's close calls. Well, I haven't had any close calls today. I've mostly just spent it basically tidying up the flat, doing a bit of hoovering, doing some laundry, cleaning the bathroom a bit, and that's about it really. So my day's been, productive but pretty non-eventful, I would say. So yeah, I will say though, I do really like the design of the can. It's a little bit dry and corporate-ish, but it's still got that sort of craft beer artsiness to it that I quite like. So I'll give it a respectable 7 out of 10. I just think there's something about the design where I think they could be making better use of the colours here. I kind of get they're going for the visage of going down a Colorado rapid river. So I think they've captured sort of the colour scheme and sort of the ethos maybe quite well there. But I just think it could do with a bit of touching up and it could be a bit more vibrant really in terms of how many colours there are there. But I don't know, it's still a handsome looking can, so I'll give it a good 7 out of 10 at least. I did see on their Facebook page, at least before it went dormant, that these guys, their main thing seems to be producing beer with a focus on conservation and not taking too much away from the environment during the process of making their beers, because they have quite a big emphasis on the conservation of American rivers, particularly in Colorado. So yeah, no, I really stand by that message. I just wish they were more active on social media and had a bigger online presence so I could find more information about them. But, well, there you go. But anyway, let's have a quick snifter to see what our first impressions are like. Quite fizzed up. Obviously, it has travelled transatlantic, so it's probably going to be a bit fizzed up, I should imagine. Anyway, let's give it a quick snifter. Nice nose. Bit less pineapple-y than the one that we reviewed on Thursday from the Mexican brewery, but still really good. It's got a bit more of a bit more of a focus on a more hoppy after smell, and smells a little bit papaya-y almost, and a tiny touch of coconuttiness, although that might just be me. But yeah, no, it's actually got a really nice nose. A little bit sweet, a little bit tropical, a little bit American-y, autumnal. Yeah, no, it actually does smell really nice. I'll give it a good 9 out of 10. It's a really lovely nose, in fact, and it doesn't overstay its welcome at all. So yeah, there's just... No, I'll give the nose a 10. It smells really nice. I actually can't really think of anything to criticise about it, to be honest. But anyway, before we see what the sucker tastes like, quick palate cleanser of water. And then on to the most important part of the video, which is to see what this sucker tastes like. So, to everyone at home, bottoms up. Ooh. Good full body. Vibrant flavours. Not the smoothest texture. And the bitterness at the end is a little bit overpowering. But for me personally, it doesn't spoil the flavour. But I can definitely imagine that it might spoil the flavour a little bit for some other people who don't like that bitterness at the end that is present in obviously a lot of IPAs. So... But still, though, I generally do find myself enjoying it. I think the texture could be a bit smoother. It's very drinkable, but I think this isn't like a first-time IPA drinker's beer. and I also think that the aftertaste could be slightly less bitter, or at least the bitterness could be more evenly spread throughout. Yeah, I feel like the sort of main body of the flavour could be accentuated a bit more, although it is still generally very fully bodied, and you can generally get a really good feel for the character even just by sipping a little bit. I would say, if you're going to drink this beer, I'd say, yeah, it's more of a sipping beer. Don't glug it, otherwise the bitterness at the end does kind of overpower your senses. If you just sip it a bit, then it's more like you're eating like something with like some yuzu reduction in it, like where it's quite concentrated, but the other flavors can kind of counteract it. That's how I feel about this when you're sipping it. If you're properly glugging it back, then the bitterness kind of lingers for a bit longer, and it does overpower the other flavors quite a bit. So generally speaking, this is a nice beer with a lot of really good flavours that is just a little bit imbalanced, and where the texture could be a bit smoother and the bitterness of the aftertaste is a little bit overpowering. But that being said, this is still really good, and I wish these guys were a bit more active so I could find out a bit more about them and see if they had other beers. But generally speaking, yeah, I'm actually pretty pleased with this. I'll give this a solid, let's say, if you're sipping it, it's like a good 7 out of 10. It's like, it is actually really nice, but if you're properly like glugging it back, then it's like a... No, if you're sipping it, it's a 7.25, but if you're glugging it back, then it's like a 7 for me personally. So I do think it's one of those ones where the quality of it really depends on how you drink it. So yeah, I mean, give it a shot to see if you guys are interested. I think it is generally a really, really nice IPA. I probably wouldn't drink it if you're a first-time IPA drinker. I'd probably get into something a little bit more mild in that sense. But generally speaking, yeah, this is actually really nice. It's generally one of the nicer American IPAs I have had. And yeah, I probably would drink this again. Yeah, there are nicer IPAs, but generally speaking, this is actually really, really good stuff. So yeah, I'm very glad I enjoyed it, and I'm very glad I've tried it. And again, to my brother and his wife, thank you very much. This is a most generous gift. Anyway, if you guys like this video, leave a like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future episodes of Ted's Booze Cellar, let me know in the comments section down below. If you want to check out anything else I do online, I'll leave the links to all that in the video description down below. But until next time, have fun, stay safe for whatever you're doing, don't do anything I wouldn't do, wash your hands, drink responsibly, know your limits, and I'll see you guys at the bar next time on Ted's Booze Cellar. Bye bye for now.